Guys, I know I've been promising this for weeks, so here we go. This is going to be the introduction into your awakening, and we're going to be talking today about third dimensional consciousness, fourth dimensional consciousness, and fifth dimensional consciousness. So your third dimensional consciousness is what we're born into. It's lineage, it's lines and 3D. You can see it. It's like a box. But we're going to be talking about the 3D, 4D, and 5D from a spiritual perspective. So the third dimensional consciousness, okay, is your mind and how we think, is surrounded around self-preservation. It's all about you. You are an individual separate from everybody else, and it is survival of the fittest. The fourth dimensional consciousness is where we start to realize that there's more to us than just us. We start to pay attention to humanity. We start to understand that, you know, this isn't a race and it's not survival of the fittest, but there's more to life that meets the eye. And then the fifth dimensional consciousness is where there's no ego, there's no judgment, and we are we have overwhelming overwhelming feelings, overwhelming emotions, of love and empathy for other human beings. And that's in the fourth and the fifth dimensional consciousness. Fifth dimensional consciousness, when you're doing meditation, is when we're actually outside of our bodies, where our soul separates from our physical. So we're immediately aware of the three dimensions that surround us on a daily basis. Those are defined by length, width, depth, of all objects. I can't talk today. I've got like this speech impediment going on, so just bear with me here. But beyond these visible three dimensions, scientists believe that there are many, many more at work. Actually, they think there are 10 or more different dimensions going on at one time. So that's something that, you know, if that's something you're interested in, you could go check that out on a scientific level. I'm just giving you that info, okay? But we're going to talk about 3D, 4D, and 5D right now. So let's talk about the 3D, the inability to see anything outside of ourselves. We focus on the materialistic world. We focus on cars, home, careers, money. All of these things are of utmost importance in the third dimensional world. Life seems like survival of the fittest, and you're identified by the way you look, the job you have, the car you drive, the people you surround yourself with. You feel fearful about missing out or not having enough. You see a lot of that in Hollywood. Things are perceived as being good and bad, and life is a competition. There's not enough for everyone, and some people have to miss out. That's just the way it goes. That's, you know, oh, well, you're lost. That's the way it goes. Fulfillment is found in making money and social status. Your thoughts have no power over your reality. Can you imagine? Can you imagine going through life believing that? That's kind of scary. Sorry, I'm playing with my lighting here. As you can tell, I'm not very professional when it comes to this stuff. Anyway, you rely on your five senses to get through the world, okay? You rely on your sight, smell, sound, touch, and feel. And that's just how life is for you. The fourth dimensional consciousness is as you start to realize that there's a little bit more outside of you. I always use the analogy of a baby when they first figure out that they have hands and toes. Do you ever watch the amazement on their face when they realize, whoa, there's more to me? It's pretty cool to watch. Well, that's what fourth dimensional consciousness is about. You're waking up. You're realizing that, you know what, we're all connected. Like, there's more to life that meets the eye, for sure. You start to pay more attention to your diet. You start to meditate more. You start to understand and pay attention to what's going on around you, in nature and in the world itself. You find that what you put into your body makes a difference. It becomes important to take care of yourself, take care of the environment, and take care of those around you. That's where your humanity comes in. There's a strong desire to find purpose and to follow your passion. You understand that life is meant to be enjoyed and that you are worthy to live the life of your dreams, okay? So you might start feeling like that horse at the gate, you know, like there's got to be more. There's got to be more than this. That's that shift from that third dimensional consciousness into the fourth dimensional consciousness. That's what it's like. It's like, whoa, there's more to this. There's got to be more to this. You start to seek a deeper meaning to life, and then you start to see the synchronicities and the magic. You start to pay attention to just how beautiful life really is. And then we have our fifth dimensional consciousness. Once you reach fifth dimensional consciousness, it's very difficult to go back to your third dimensional state. What do I mean by that? When most of us teeter between fourth dimension and fifth dimensional consciousness. That's where this awakening phase that started back in 2012, that's where it's bringing us. Most of us are teetering between the two, okay? And when you're teetering between the two, when you are in a meditative state and you're in that fifth dimensional consciousness where everything is just one. Everything is oneness. There's no judgment. There's no ego. It is an absolutely magical, beautiful state of consciousness to be in when you're in that fifth dimensional consciousness. And when you're zapped out of that very quickly, it can be painful. Your thought patterns, you're not able to think clearly because here you are in this most beautiful state of mind, and then all of a sudden something from the 3D world will zap you back, whether it be someone coming in and interrupting you or whatever the case may be, that bringing you back down into that 3D, the lower vibrational state can jolt your system. And that's what I mean by it can be very difficult to go back. But from this level of consciousness, you begin to understand that we are all one, that we're all connected. Life becomes an adventure of growth, and there's no such thing as good or bad. There's no competition. There's a higher purpose for all things, and every experience holds meaning. Everybody has a different perspective on life, and those perceptions have to be validated because we're not all going to think the same. We're not all going to have the same values, okay? But as long as we're doing it from the greater good and for the greater good of ourselves and other people, then we know we're at least on the right path. Everyone is considered to be equal, and there's a desire to live in a place of pure authenticity. You understand that your purpose is to live your truth and to seek joy. From this state, you know there's no competition and there's enough in the universe for everybody. And again, you have that compassion for other people, for yourself, for Mother Earth, for the stars, for the galaxy, for it all. And then we have even higher states of consciousness that we're just now tapping into. That science is actually saying, there could be something to this. And they're really starting to pay attention because there have been so many reports of out-of-body experiences, near-death experiences, astro traveling, time traveling. All of this stuff is coming to the forefront, and science is like, they don't know what to do with it. They're like, so they have to look at it. They have to, because the statistics are showing that this stuff is real. So these higher states of consciousness are believed to only be accessible once we've left our physical bodies. So that's your astral projection, your dream states when you travel in your dreams. It is possible, however, to access these states through meditation, again, our dreams, and through certain herbs and plant medicines such as ayahuasca. In higher states of consciousness, there are three key differences, though. Your perception of time. There is no time when you're in these states. Your power of thoughts. You don't create your thought. Like you're just being. You're just there. You're not. It's not like our human minds that we have to put labels and create things. It's more of just a being, a oneness, and again, that feeling of oneness. That's exactly what it is. It's believed that in the sixth dimensional consciousness and beyond, that we are so powerful that all we have to do is think of a location and we go there. Time is not linear and cannot be measured. Instead, time feels endless. So the astral projection, again, this is described as an intentional out-of-body experience that assumes the existence of a soul called the astral body that is separate from the physical body and capable of traveling outside of itself throughout the universe. They call this a pseudoscience because science can't pinpoint it. They can't measure it. They can't say, yes, this actually happens, because it can't be measured separate from your normal neurological activity. They can't measure it. So they call it a pseudoscience, which means it's really not real in their minds. I am telling you that's changing because of all the reports that people have about this astral projection. You can also obtain these higher levels of consciousness through hypnosis, past life regression, meditation, again, your dream states, and those plant medicines that we talked about. Astrology is really doesn't have anything to do with 3D, 4D, or 5D, but astrology, when you're talking about galactic and you're talking about the planets and you're talking about the alignment of the planets, you're talking about the universe as a whole, the time, date, location, all of those things are so key in our existence. And again, this is another thing that science won't look at astrology. Well, they're looking at it now, but it was more of an occultic standardized process of just telling someone's future. Like it was all, smoke and mirrors, that there were, oh, your horoscope, don't pay any attention to that. But now people are paying attention to it. Numerology is extremely important because it really does play a key role in our society. So just like healing energy, which is another thing that science fails to acknowledge, we know that astrology is pretty on point when it comes to horoscopes. However, the horoscope is just an outline of the past, present, or future. Use your energy to ask yourself, what is your past? What is your present? What is your future? And what I mean by that, when I say use your energy, is trust yourself. Even though you can read a horoscope or you can go and see a psychic, or, somebody can tell you this is what you should be doing or this is what you shouldn't be doing. Have enough sense to ask yourself if that resonates with your soul before you just jump in feet first. Because there's so much out there and so many people out there that are just willing to take your money and tell you anything that they think you want to hear, that they really don't understand that they could be disrupting your divine path and your spiritual journey. To a point where it's not going to stop it, it's just going to delay it. And that's not cool. So there's also a website that it's called Cendrines, CENDRINES.com. And this is how to access your galactic channeling abilities. This is very cool. I'm actually learning this right now in a quantum Reiki healing program. I'm talking about quantum. You're talking about the galactic. You're talking about extremely high frequencies, high vibrational frequencies that we are tapping into now. Humans are starting to tap into this galactic world. And I can only speak for myself when it comes to this area. I've not studied it. I don't really understand it, and I haven't completed the course to even speak on it enough, but I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that it exists, for sure. For me, I have to go to a very high frequency of meditation. I've done this in lives. I do this on a daily where I can raise my vibrations and my frequencies to a very high vibrational level. When I'm there, I don't think about everyday life. I don't think about emotions. I don't think about egos. None of that comes into play when my frequencies are at that high of a vibrational level. So that is the 3D to 5D little chat that I have been promising you all that I've been going to post, and I haven't. So here it is, and just for your viewing pleasure. Again, if you have any questions, leave me a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And podcast is coming soon. We're going to be doing an energy talk with Angels Do, and that's going to be on Saturday mornings. So hopefully I'll be able to get that out, not this week, but probably next week. So you guys have a blessed day, and take care.